Assistant coach for the SU women's basketball team and recruiting coordinator Khyreed Carter joining us from New York City, from Manhattan, from what I understand. Coach, thanks so much for coming on. How are you today?
I'm great. How you guys doing? Thanks for having me on.
Well, we're doing great, and thanks for finding some time for us on this trip. I guess let's start right there. Well, why are you guys doing this trip? And can you share with us, I guess, what's on the itinerary?
Absolutely. I mean, we've had a tough 6 weeks of really getting after it. Our team came up at the end of June, and we just wanted to do something fun to end the summer access where we worked out. So we decided to bring our kids to New York City because about 6 or 7 of them haven't been here before. So we wanted to give them a taste of what the city is like. And while we're down here, we're going to go actually visit the New York Liberty game tonight against the Dallas Wings. A lot of our kids have aspirations to play at this level, so we wanted to give them a bird's eye view of what it looks like.
That's awesome. And, obviously a team bonding experience, it sounds like. Is it even more important now, Coach, to do these kinds of things, given that year in and year out there are so many new faces? I believe 8 new players on this roster, 4 freshmen, 4 transfers. Is it important to do these things, now more so than ever, given the fact that there's so much changeover from year to year?
I think it's the most important part. The one thing that brought them all to Syracuse was basketball, but they got to know each other. They have to get to know each other. They have to know what each other likes, what people don't like, hidden talents. And the more opportunities we have like this where we can connect them and bring them to different spaces and different environments, it gives them time to connect and really build chemistry. And we always say our best teams are the ones that have chemistry off the floor. So when we get on the floor, it's smooth and easy transition.
All right, let's talk about your role, if we could, a little bit. There was a little bit of a shuffling of duties, right, in the offseason.
Mm-hmm.
Can you explain, I guess, how your role has changed from last year to now this year and moving forward?
Yeah, I've taken on a lot of the responsibility with actually recruiting and bringing players in. So as we had some staff departures this offseason, it was just Coach Jack and I with Coach Moore. And we really hit the ground running and identified kids that would be great pickups for us in the portal. And so far, they've shown to be that. So that's really the bulk of my responsibilities. I also juggle a little bit of GM duties as well. So within that portal, just figuring out the budget, figuring out what's the good market price for what these kids are worth these days, and just juggling a lot of different things as we transition into a new regime, if you will.
As the recruiting coordinator, how do you go about identifying the transfers that you want to go after? And, do you have an idea before they even hit the portal that this is the kind of player that I want? How do you go about actually recruiting the portal and the players that are at other programs right now?
Well, I think you look at the year that you have, right, and this year that just passed us, and what were our glaring weaknesses and what were the things that were easily identifiable that we needed to address in the portal. So we had a range of kids that we knew were important for us to get in the portal. We knew we had the departure of a number of bigs, so it was important for us to go out and get bigs. We brought in a couple, one that's more of a physical back to the basket, imposing kid, and one that's more of a long, wiry, athletic kid because we knew we needed to address the departures of Sanaya Wilson and Kyra Wood and Isabel Verjao. But also we knew we struggled a little bit defensively. So I think we were near the bottom in the ACC. So going into the portal, we knew those were things that we needed to address right away. And then we have an analytics team. We use our beautiful education system that we have here at the university, and we have an analytics team that actually went through and put together, a PowerPoint of kids that would be good for us, kids. And then once they hit the portal, we knew right away which kids would greatly benefit us because we used those guys and that team to really give us an idea before we got going.
When you were brought in and joined Coach Jack's staff, it was made clear at the time that one of your specialties is player development. Is it different, Coach, working with a freshman coming in opposed to a veteran who's transferring into the program, who's played 3 or 4 years of college basketball already? Do you take a different approach with a veteran player versus a kid who's coming in as a freshman?
Yes and no. The one thing about this transfer portal that it's taught us is that you can't look too far ahead. So we used to think about freshmen, okay, by year 3, this is where this kid will be. We really can't look at that approach anymore. You have to take them for what they are right now, and really put it on speed dial with how much you develop them, which has changed, a lot from the past when it comes to development. The yes part, you do, because you want kids to have that experience. And Rick Pitino kind of talked about it down there at St. John's. Like, you can't replace 18 to 20 points a game with a kid coming in from high school right now. So you do kind of take it into account. We like to develop, and we had the benefit of not losing a single kid to the transfer portal this past year. But that's a rarity in this day and age. So you kind of have to coach them for that year. And then if they decide to come back, then you take the summer and really address what needs to develop for that upcoming year that's coming up next. So yes and no, it's difficult, and we've seen a lot of people go away from recruiting high school kids. We still like to. We brought in some really, really talented freshmen. But those grad kids and those seniors, they give you a little bit more comfort going into a game knowing they've been through it before.
How about your pro or your basketball journey as a professional here, as a professional coach? What have you learned? What have you improved upon since coming to Syracuse? 3-4 years ago now.
I think the biggest thing is that there's no one size fits all with getting players better. And I think as I've grown and matured, it used to be, let me get out there and show them. Let me show them what I'm looking for. Let me show them how we can develop. Now it's a lot more teaching, a lot more film. I'm still young enough to get out there and demonstrate and compete with them, but it's a lot more talking the game through to them, a lot more film work than I used to do in the past, just because it's such a speed development that we're looking to do. So really grown in that. And then the game has changed. The game has changed. It's a lot more space. It's a lot more freedom of movement. All the bigs want to step out and shoot threes. So you kind of have to adjust as the game continues to adjust. And I took this summer to really learn. I went and visited a couple WNBA practices just to see what they're doing, just to see what our kids are aspiring to do. So now when I get in the gym with them, I can tell them terminology that they're using at the pro level and concepts that they're using, so they're better prepared for that next journey.
What are you most looking forward to with this upcoming season, Coach? Whether it's a specific opponent you're playing, or a trip you guys are taking, or a certain player you're excited to see develop. What are you most looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to winning.
Yeah, right.
First, like last year was a tough year for us. There's a standard that we have, and there's a standard that we set with our first 2 years in here. And this past year, it didn't live up to those expectations. So I think winning is first, but I'm excited to see our kids that have a chip on their shoulder. Dominique Darius, she's gone to 2 different schools. She was a 5-star kid coming out, and she's really looking for an opportunity to just show who she is. I think Layla Filia, her story and where she was first team All Big Ten kid at the University of Michigan, and took the step to go to Texas last year and didn't have the year that she wanted to because of injuries. So she's hungry. She's willing to ready to get back out there and show the world who she is and how special she is. And just our freshmen, our freshmen are really talented, and they're working extremely hard. I'm just looking forward to it all gelling together and putting some W's in that win column, because the Dome is a lot better when we're winning.
Yeah, no doubt. Well said. Last one from me. Tell us a little bit about yourself away from the basketball court. What do you like to do?
I'm a dad, so I think first and foremost, when I'm not in the basketball court, is being with my kids. I have 3 young daughters, so I like to spend time with them as much as I can. But I'm an avid video game. I got to take an hour or 2 a day just to get a deep dive into my own personal time. So I love playing video games. NCAA football has me in a chokehold right now, which isn't too happy with my wife, but I need that time.
Sure. We all do. That time to decompress from work. Listen, Coach, it was a pleasure catching up with you. Thanks so much for finding some time for us while you guys are on the road down there in New York City. Enjoy the trip, and I hope that we talk again soon as the season approaches.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys, and thank you for allowing us to continue to grow our game.
All right. Khyreed Carter joining us here on the program, assistant coach for the SU women's basketball team and recruiting coordinator, Paulie.
Yes. Thank you.
Oh, you looked at me like you had something to say.
Speaking of assistant coaches, you see our good friend Mike Hopkins landed another job.
He did. He landed a job with the Pelicans.
Back with Troy Weaver.
That's right. Yep. Assistant coach and working in player development. And
he has a pretty good memory from New Orleans.
Yes, he does. That is true.
So does Troy, for that matter.
Yes, he does. They both do. I think everyone does associated with Syracuse basketball. Some good times down there. You had a good story about an autograph that you signed on a basketball.
I have a lot. Trust me, I have a lot of good stories. I was in New Orleans for a week. I have a lot of good stories. Some of them I can't even remember.
Or repeat, probably. 315-437-7644. Phone lines open the rest of the way. We are back after this on ESPN Radio.